the Elder Titan buff.
Yeah, this ET, it's weird because it's like just as support, you shouldn't care that it's being somewhat countered, but it does feel like that wherever the ET lane is going to have a rough time, and that's a problem because the laning stage was a big weaknesses of CDCs in game number 1, and it doesn't really feel like they've got something that's any better in this game, and just overall their draft looks very. It looks just weird in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, they're picking some kind of meta heroes like Hoodwink, very meta, one of the most picked heroes of these qualifiers. TA's looked really good in the right hands. It's been a first 2 pick for teams like, TNC. Nigma was first 2 picked in TA. But it just doesn't. I'm not seeing like the synergy between these heroes and what they're trying to do right now.
And I guess the kind of extra question is then, obviously Leshrac and TA both kind of mid-predominant heroes. Does this feel like this is something like a little bit of an audible coming out from CDEC? Maybe the TA could be a side laner. We've seen it experimented with a few times, in previous majors and stuff like that. Not to, crazy success, but it still can be played in those side lanes. Or do we think this is just going to be the Leshrac answer to the Enchantress and try and provide a little bit more burst damage or lockdown against something like the Death Prophet as well, right?
I think this is just gonna be a mid TA and a carry Lash. I don't think they are gonna do a silent TA. I don't think this player plays silent TA. This Once guy. He pretty much just plays a lot of standard carries. But I think he likes to fight a lot, so this Lash might be a good adjustment for CDEC, but I think we'll have to see. Like, I agree with Gods. I don't really see the synergy between the heroes, Like, usually on Lash you want some kind of HP buff, It can be a save, it can be a heal, it can be anything. They don't have that. And usually on TA, you want like good solid team fight, good solid lockdown. And they don't really have that either. Like Hoodwink and ET are both like skill shots, sort of. So
yeah,
it's kind of a weird draft coming out from CDC.
They're like 4 heroes that want to play very kind of individual games. Like, they're not playing with any one obvious hero right now, and I feel like it's kind of different story with MagMa a bit. The Lifesteal looks really good. You're going to be blocking out most of the Leshrac damage output. A hero that can actually just run in and try and burst down a Leshrac. The physical damage is something that Lesh is pretty susceptible to. So I like this pick a lot for MagMa. It feels like they've got some solid lanes if they want. I think this is probably just going to be a Death Prophet mid as we go into this draft more. Like, you can run Enchantress plus that kind of tanky offlaner, that initiation vehicle, and then have just Death Prophet play mid with the Lion Lifestealer in the safe lane.
Yeah, and I guess CDEC are on that kind of train of thought as well, getting rid of the Sand King. There's no Slardar as well, obviously one of the best laners against Lifestealer, and I feel like CDEC, kind of needs something that's going to tick a lot of boxes for them right in this final pick, and it's going to be pretty hard for them considering the amount of offlaners that have been called for them to try and tick these boxes to try and tie things together. So what do we think that it's going to kind of be for CDEC, Ponlo? What would you like them to try and pick up to try and at least marry up a few of these heroes? Might not be all of them, but at least a few.
Oh no, is it gonna be a Brood Mother? Oh, it's not banned.
Oh,
what, for CDEC?
Yeah. I mean, it's a Lifestealer. It's a Lifestealer Lion. It's like, and you have a Hoodwink. Hoodwink is pretty good with Brood Mother in the lane. Oh man, I don't want to see a Brood Mother though.
Last big Brood. Here we go.
It's too early. My time to see a Brood Mother, man.
Yeah. What else? Nothing else like immediately stands out as being like great options.
Lifestealer, huh?
Unless they want to do the Leshrac off lane with the Hoodwink, but that seems a bit odd. MagMa do ban Morphling as if they're a little unsure of where these lanes are going, because they ban an off laner, then they also ban a carry. And they pick themselves a Doom. Okay.
Ooh.
There's your tanky off laner. Or potentially mid laner. Some of these Chinese teams do run a bit of mid Doom. It does feel like it's more likely going to be in the off lane, though.
Yeah, this is surprising because this is something that Black was talking about quite a lot yesterday, that he feels like this is the hero that should be basically banned every single game for a lot of these Chinese teams, is this Doombringer. And the fact that it's gone all the way to the end here for Team MagMa just feels good, right? Like, they've got a lot of heroes that they can doom, and TA really doesn't like being doomed. A lot of those extra ticks on the refractions don't feel good. But is this still an okay Broodmother game, Ponlo? Is CDEC still feeling about the dirty Brood this early in the morning?
I mean, it looks like a Broomauer game to me. There's literally no spider clear at all. The lane is, I mean, it gets to a point where the lifestealer can't even stay in the lane. And their heroes, you know, they have a TA, they have a Lash. Like, TA especially is like super independent and it's like very carryish. And you have the Deso. If you have a hero like Brute to play the front of the fight or take the area around the Roche pit, your TA can just get a Roche super quickly. Oh, I really don't want to see it though. But I don't see any other pick. Oh, they're just gonna go with a Pos 3 Lash.
Okay. No, it's still a Pos 1 Lash.
Oh, what?
Beyond picks
It's
up
a
the
Pos 3 Ursa.
Unless they're just like changing roles, but that seems the least likely of those. But yeah, Pos 3 Ursa. What would Death say about this one, Ponlo?
He would say if he's
Is he
if he
flaming or
knows
is he happy about this?
11,000 people are watching, he will say no comment. That's what he will say.
Good
The other one.
I mean, it does have the good
Go on.
one-to-one matchup against the Lifesteal, right, Gods? Like, that's the only thing that's kind of coming to my mind. And you get early Blink Dagger, maybe a Diffusal Blade, and it could feel okay.
Yeah. I feel like I'm curious how, even though it is Pulse 3 Ursa, I feel like they should be giving it maybe some more farm priority, and the Leshrac needs to go for more of those utility items. Like, I don't think Ursa, even in the 3 position, can go for any kind of utility items. You mentioned, yeah, like the Diffusal. You still have to go for typical Ursa items, whereas Leshrac, I feel, has more builds available that you can go for. So once he's going to have to play maybe Hyper, once he's going to have to channel his inner offlaner this game to make this Leshrac work, I feel like.
Well, lads, we're getting ourselves prepped and ready for game number 2. We've seen the drafts, Ponlo. Where do we feel like this game's going to go? What's your prediction?
Oh, I mean, CDEC, you know, we spoke about it previously. They go for these funky drafts, man. But I don't know. I personally don't think this is gonna be enough. I think I will side with MagMa for this one again.
All right, what about you, Gods? You feeling the funky drafts for this one, or you still feel like MagMa's got it over them?
I'm not down with the funk. I'm gonna keep it, keep it classy. Stick with my old school. I don't know, jazz. What's the opposite of funk? Jazz is kind of funky. I don't know. I'll go with some,
classical music?
2020 pop or something. Oh yeah, classical. Yeah, give me some classical. Give me some Beethoven. That's me. I'm going MagMa.
All right, well, let's see if Beethoven can carry Gods through this prediction, or whether or not we're going to go to a game number 3 with a little bit more funk coming in from the Chinese region. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it with Gods and Ponlo here for game number 2 between MagMa and CDEC.
Alrighty. Thank you, Fluke. Here we go. Game 2, MagMa looking like they're in a good position based on obviously being up a game, but also draft-wise, and everything we're saying seems to indicate that they have themselves in a pretty good position to take this series 2-0, Ponlo.
Yep, I'm pretty interested to see where they're gonna place their supports. Whether this Ench is really gonna be the one laning against the ET. Because maybe now you change your approach on MagMa. Maybe you lane your stronger support against the Ursa so that you shut down the Ursa's game.
Yeah.
30
Yep.
seconds.
So that you don't have to deal with this like three carry game from CDEC.
Yeah. Are you worried about if CDC have a good lane stage with this 3 carry, does the game look really good for them, or do they need more things to go right?
I feel like all they can do is take a Roche, and then after that, I'm not sure that they're gonna be able to take fights against the. I mean, as long as the Doom, he buys a Blink, he buys BKB, he dooms his TA, the DP doesn't die straight away. Ench buys a Holy Locket maybe, and they just kite out the fight. They make sure that CDC can't just burst their heroes with the physical damage. I think MagMa have a better team fight.
Is this like a response in some ways to the Doom coming out, where it's like, okay, someone's getting Doom, let's make sure we have 3 scaling cores, or was there more to it, do you feel?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of the reason. I mean, also cause of the lane, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, that concept is kind of like I know it's a known concept, but I'm not very sure that I'm entirely on board with that concept of just pick another carry, lol. Like, I don't feel like it should work like that, but we'll see. Maybe this Ursa will become the carry and this Lash will become an offlane. So.
I mean, if that logic was entirely true, you'd say, well, why not just pick 5 carries then? You need to have a
simple math.
balanced draft. Well, MagMa trying to get the lanes they want, it feels like. They are hovering around this bottom lane. Lifestealer trying to scout for any Radiant wards. Actually, there is one there, so he was spotted, as was the rest of MagMa. And
The battle begins.
CDEC will get a good idea of what's going on.
Yep. GZY on the Mars, on the Doom. He's already preparing to get the Devour on the creep, hiding in the trees.
Wants to start that cooldown early and get that kind of level advantage, and whoop, comes in, grabs a range creep. Uh-oh, here's the ET. They're going to get some maybe damage out on this. Doesn't go for a split earth, though. A bit surprised to see Leshrac there not skilling anything to try and punish that one.
Yep. Maybe. I mean, the guy is platinum on Lash, actually. This once. It's a Lash expert.
Okay. Yeah, they
He knows
showed
how he's
this.
doing.
Yeah, on the loading screen, I think his lifetime record on the hero was like 150 wins, 100 losses. So he's played a lot of this Leshrac, whether it's carry or mid and pub games, I can't say, but he knows what he's doing. And he goes to level 1 Lightning Storm to secure those last hits.
Yep. Pretty interested to see how this lane will pan out because of this Ange countering the ET. I think it should be pretty. It's gonna get tougher and tougher for CDEC until the Lash gets level 6.
Where are you going?
Yep.
That's where they
Easily
can
see
start to
there.
turn it around.
Ench just purges it off the second the ET gets the damage. No more damage for you, and that's
Aw,
something ET...
Dude,
Not
the
fun.
Doom has the ice armor, man. Oh my
Oh.
god.
Wow.
5
guess-
armor.
That's pretty nice, particularly against the ET who's looking to come in and do physical damage to you, so he's a happy camper.
Yeah, it's
Some games
balance.
is Doom, you know, you just get the right creep.
Yep, I think Alpha Wolf or something would have been pretty neat too, so the Ange can do more damage because the Ange can pretty much freely hit in this lane, non-stop
Yeah.
like a Gatling gun. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, we're seeing that. And already with the Centaur, the neutral camp having spawned, this lane looking pretty good. And some of these other lanes, we'll have to see how this Ursa does as far as pressuring top. He is going in aggressive with a Bushwhack. Wants this Lion, and with the Acorn Shock follow-up, it's going to force a Hex, and this Hoodwink Ursa lane is looking pretty potent as far as pressuring this Lion Lifestealer goes.
Yeah, I would say the Radiant definitely have a advantage in this top lane, and yeah, like I was talking about earlier, they didn't put the Ange to lane against Ursa, so I'm sure MagMa know that CDEC are stronger in the top lane, so they're just gonna look to farm on the Lifestealer and just try to. I think the Lion needs to save his spells and just play defensively. I don't think they can ever really go on on the Ursa. I mean.
And even with this Orb of Venom, it doesn't really feel like the offensive potential is there. As Hoodwink doesn't land the Bushwhack there. One thing you can always do is look for that Quelling Blade to break that tree.
Yep, they actually cut so many trees off in the lane on Shylock. It's a pretty good strategy.
Yep. Making it easy for this Hoodwink to play this off lane. No real good openings, and particularly, yeah, that's what the Ursa's relying on to go for these aggressive plays or even just kills in general, is having that Bushwhack Acorn Shot coming into play.
Yeah, Beyond actually went for the boots instead of the Orb of Venom on the Ursa is flying out right now.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting.
Interesting. That's you when you said no comment before about the offlane Ursa. That's another commentator word we use when we say stuff is interesting.
Interesting.
Usually it means we don't. We're not so. It's like basically you don't want to make a bold statement and say you don't like it, but you're gonna be like it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I see TZY Mars by Orb of Corrosion
Yeah.
and owning the shit out of the Spectre, you know. And then I see this Ursa into Lifestealer and he buys some boots. I'm like, interesting. I'm not very sure if it's the best item to go for, but we'll see. Like the Amber Fluffy hat last game, you know. We'll see.
Call it how you see it. It's bad. It's bad. No, it doesn't mean it's bad. It means you think it's bad.
Maybe I'm bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, when the ex players start casting, it's like, oh man, you're it's like you've dropped down a tier on the the pyramid of Dota, of the Dota world. You know, players are at the top. You casters and analysts, we're below the players.
Did you just call me an ex-player, God?
Well, you're casting right now, right?
That hurts me
No,
in my
you're-
Meow
you're-
Meow, man.
I'm kidding. You're a current player. I heard you've missed some rehearsals because you're doing scrims and stuff. You've got your priorities straight. As a player, no, as a commentator, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to be a bit more reliable.
Fired.
Yeah. I'm not sure we'll see you again today after this series, Paul, though. I think we're done with you. Or that's just the schedule for today's broadcast, who knows which one it is, but...
Who knows? I probably signed
You
an
don't-
NDA, I can't speak about it.
Yeah. If you guys don't see Paul after this series, something may have gone down. But what's going down is a pretty slow early game. Neither team doing anything crazy. It does feel like TA's not crushing this mid lane by any means. Quelling Blade TA, I feel like this is we're seeing a lot of these ranged Quelling Blades, but I feel like I haven't seen it on the TA as much.
True. Because, usually TA doesn't really like the damage to last hit, right?
Yeah.
So, I
Interesting.
want to point out something that the Ench is doing, like around this siege timing. Like, people need to learn to do this. When you play Ench, you need to come to your mid lane around this time and pressure the mid tower and play with your mid. Your mid is the strongest hero on the map right now. And as an Ench, you are also really, really strong. Like, look at how much damage they're going to do to this tower because of this Ench move.
Yeah, level 2 enchant means this creep has an extra plus 30 damage. They're keeping the siege wagon alive. Death Prophet happy to tank it up, but here comes the Hoodwink rotation with a bushwhack. Dust has to be a little bit careful, but he's got the Spirit Siphon. Now he changes target onto that Hoodwink, who is going to pay the price for the rotation. Maybe saves the mid tower, I guess you could say. As they do lose the siege creep in the end, Dust is about to heal up. The X isn't wearing off, but yeah, that's a overall win for MagMa, it feels like.
Yep. Huge macro play coming out from MagMa that I personally also learned a lot from. Like, when I started to play in China at the start of the year in IGV, this was something that my coach drilled in me. Around this 5 to 6 minutes, every single game, I had to think about what I can do, what I can provide to this mid siege wagon, and how I can play to it. And China teams do this really well.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, they did that with just in a 2 versus 3. Both CDEC supports rotated, while Enchantress was the only MagMa support. Uh-oh, Dust in some trouble. As a regen
your
room, but
fairy
no
fire.
mana for Spirit Siphon. Yeah, it's in the backpack. And he was also 7 mana short of a Spirit Siphon, so... Oh. Hey, don't click that Death Prophet Observer. He's 9 mana short, that's what I meant to say.
Math.
Look, maths is hard. I say 7, I mean 7. As Stomp is going to land onto the Enchantress. Bushwhack coming in. This Hoodwink's definitely being pretty annoying with these Bushwhacks whenever these rotations happen.
Yep, but I feel like for CDC, right, right now, it sort of feels like they're trying to overcompensate for already messing up. They were not ready for the move at 5 minutes, and now their TA is having a shit time, so they're just trying to do whatever they can to help him, right? But I mean, at least the other side lanes are doing pretty fine as well. The Ursa is doing really well against the Lifestealer, and the Lash is also pretty much free farming at this point. The Doom actually TP'd top.
Yeah, this is a bit of a surprise rotation, it feels like. Who's going to go bottom? Enchantress looks at TP on down there. Leshrac has level 4 Edict, so this tower will melt fast. Luckily, Enchantress is here to steal a melee creep and tank some of that Edict.
Yep, super weird move from the Doom. I'm sure they should have just killed the Lash instead of doing this, but they're gonna try.
Oh, baits the Enrage with a fake Earth Spike, but that's worth it for the Ursa just to stay alive, so... Not really...
Yeah, I'm sure he's yelling to his team, guys, Doom is top, what the heck? And they're just diving bottom.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is this guy doing? So set things up for an early tower. They're going to come in with an Exorcism to try and turn this one around. They'll get
Just
one
a
kill.
hoodwink.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah.
And TA is hitting mid as well with DD rune.
Dire's
Wow,
structures
CDC.
Alright.
Everything's
Welcome
going
on
their
to
way
different-
right now.
This Doom's just kind of in the trees at top. Like, he's just been hiding. He's going to finally come out and get the Doom. Oh!
What? Guys,
Swing and a miss.
I think you guys are forcing it just a little bit too much, huh?
is under attack.
Yeah. It's Doom. This hero should just, he farms. Get that Devour going.
I mean, if the Doom is positioned bot lane, there's no way this Lash can edict the tower, right? They just Doom him, the Enchantress comes in with the Enchant, and They just kill him. The DP can TP as well. And they can just kill the Lash and take the bot tower. Instead, they tried to make this like really unrealistic move on the Ursa top. I mean, the Ursa can just press ulti, right? Even if you're gonna doom him, he ultis and the doom is so short. It was quite a bad macro play, I think, coming out from MagMa.
Yeah.
They lost a lot from
And
that.
that was a lot of wasted, like, TZY was just sitting in those trees for like a full minute, it felt like, so time he could have spent farming. He is still top of the net worth, but this is Doom. This is a hero that often is like 1,000 gold ahead of everyone. That kind of alchemist-like level of farm in the early game.
Yep, and now the Lash is hitting his peak. The Lash has a hood, has arcane boots, maxed out edict. Once he's gonna go to the top lane, take the top tower in one swift edict.
Dire's top
Yep.
tower.
Bang!
Nobody can defend
Done.
this.
Radiant are
And
scattered.
there's no glyph as well, so this is going to be an easy tier 1 tower. Couple of quick towers back to back.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yep, really weird by MagMa. After the first successful move from the Ench and the DP mid lane at around 5 to 6 minutes, everything after that for the past 5 minutes has been pretty sus.
I am curious, how do you see this Ursa playing out as a 3 position? It looks like he's got a blink queued up as his first major item. Like, what do you feel like this Ursa is going to be able to contribute this game?
I think you just have a super strong mid game time after you take the Aegis and you have Blink. You just commit into the fight and you make all the attention go on you, right? You cause all the attention to go on you, and even if you die twice, your carry or your mid is able to clean up the fight. And he's just gonna do just that. He's gonna go into Roche right now. He has a Morbid Mask. It's gonna be easy Roche for them. There's no EXO yet. Yeah, the DP is not enough. Doesn't have enough mana to contest this. And the DP is their strongest hero right now. So.
And in Roche we go. Leshrac will help tank it for the Ursa a little bit. It should be pretty straightforward.
Is under attack.
One thing I want to point out is that eventually this Ursa is going to get a nullifier, right? And this nullifier is going to be super good against the DP. Like they can just one bushwhack and this DP can die. Bushwhack, nullifier, bang bang bang. Mel hit, he dies. So
Yeah.
at least now with an offlane Ursa, somehow they have a solution to the enemy heroes, I think.
Yeah, Nullify is not the most expensive of items. That's one of the nice things about it. As rotation mid, MagMa, Yemien catches out the Lesh, throws out the Finger of Death. Is the follow-up damage going to be there? Doesn't look like it with the Hood. He's going to survive through it. It's going to force out a Doom. Does still get the kill on TZY, but they need to commit a bit extra to get it.
Yep, kind of overstepping on the Lash there. Maybe they need to deward the sentry around the mid lane so that their TA traps can cover them from running. If they have TA traps scattered around the mid lane, it's gonna be much easier for this Lash to touch the mid tower.
It could be MagMa themselves who want to make a play on some of these towers. They've got X's and back up, yet to take a tier 1 tower. They made that really nice move earlier on the tier 1 mid with the Enchantress, but since then things have been pretty quiet. Is this game okay pace for them if they're just sitting back and farming when they've got heroes like Lifestealer and Doom, or do you think they need to make some moves?
Watching this MagMa lineup reminds me of how Neon played. It feels like some parts of your draft wants to play fast and some parts of your draft wants to play slow. I feel like everyone on MagMa wants to play fast, but their Doom wants to play slow. Even though he has a BKB, he can run into the fight, but he's still not that effective of a hero right now. He doesn't have a dagger. He can't initiate with the Doom on the Lash and the TA. So it does feel like, I mean, MagMa are gonna go for a tier 1 bot, but this is already a bit too late at 30 minutes. Like you should have taken this tower way earlier with your heroes that you have with the Ench and the DP. So I think CDEC are pretty happy with how the game is going.
CDEC even get another glyph. They have,
Wow,
gosh, they just sniped the Lion.
he didn't cast a single spell.
They do end up, and the tower gets denied. Okay, Lion just gets popped by the sharpshooter, and CDC, they don't defend the tower itself, but they get the deny, and they also find a kill. So that's, again, more good play coming out of the CDC squad. Perhaps this is what they needed and didn't have in game 1, which is a more wonky draft.
They need the funk.
This is where they shine.
I think CDEC right now are gonna. Oh,
Bottom rune, bit of a clash to the Ursa. Looking just down there. Even with this Aegis, doesn't look like he wants to fight as Lifesteal shows up, just completed an armlet. They're all caught by this Veil, so a lot of magic damage happening. Boosted up here. The Ursa follow-up is there as well, as Ursa just goes blinking in. Looking for Dust, who's on the run, gets a nice silence out. The sharp shot shooter not going to do enough as the Infest is there as well for some extra health as Ursa. Still not done, still playing with the Sages, forces out a BKB on Doom as they kill the Enchantress. CDEC, they want blood, and this time they'll get it.
Now they have 2
Dire's
bloods.
middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, but CDC, no EXO is down. There's no way MagMa can fight without EXO. So they just run in. They don't care. This Ursa with Aegis, pulse 3. Even if I die, I don't care. I will go in. I'll initiate. I'll force all the attention on me. I'll force the opponents to turn back and use spells on me, while my teammates throw the sharpshooter. They throw the Echo Storm. You know, the TA throws a trap. Lash throws the Lightning Storm. They're just chasing and chasing, and that's the power of this draft when the EXO is down. As long as MagMa can't turn back and fight, yeah, they're not gonna get a single kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Blink in.
For Lion.
Oh, Full Lion is gonna be okay maybe? Dodges the Echo Stomp, so should be fine now. Gets himself back to safety. One thing I do find interesting that we've seen a bit in the China qualifier is that, you know, we see this Hoodwink going for the Veil. Yesterday we saw Red Panda on the Brew going the Veil. It feels like an item I did not see it all in other regions, but here in China I feel like I've seen it multiple times in different games on different heroes.
Yeah, I think in general the Chinese support players are more inclined to buy items that support the entire team. They're also more inclined to buy stuff like Force Staffs and Glimmers and stuff like that compared to the other regions.
Except for FY and Marana.
Too.
Okay. No, the Marana's all going Yule Scepter here, which is interesting. Because I feel like the other regions I didn't see much Yule's Marana. It was much more, I guess, those with Marana's in other regions with team items. But, yeah.
Yep, I was always getting flamed actually in my Chinese team because they always ask me, Polo, 你买吹风吗? Which translates to, Polo, are you buying eels? Then I always say no, and they're always like, what? Why you don't want to buy eel, ah? Oh, my Marana.
Livestealer with the armlet coming up. He's charging in. The Slasher gets some trouble. Gets blown up and gets punished for going for those supports. So they kill the 2 supports, but then they pay the price. But it's interesting. Like every region has their ideas about Dota, where it's like, if you're, like you said, it sounds like if you're on a team in China, it's like, to some extent, if you don't follow the ideas of that region, then you're doing something wrong. And I don't think that's a China specific. I think that's every region where, you know, there's a thing that's meta in NA or Europe. The expectation, if you're on the team with them, that they're surprised if you don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the China Dota culture as well is just generally a bit more like hierarchy based. So it's a lot about monkey see, monkey do. So whatever the top players are doing, usually I think the players will respect it a lot compared to other regions where you have people like Thompson, you know, out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want anytime I want to do it. I don't care who you are, you know.
We even see it in the team structure. Like every team, almost more teams in China than any other region have their coach who's doing all the drafting, and it feels like the coaches in China have more say and more power over the team than maybe in other regions. Do you feel like that's true?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they literally have like, they pick certain things, like they pick a pause 4 that can stack Ancients, and they tell the player your job is to stack Ancients this game. And then they tell the pause 5 player at 5 to 6 minutes, I want you to play around the mid lane when your Lash is very strong, or when your DP is very strong, when your TA is very strong. They say things like that, or they tell the pause 5 player, like, this lane, maybe you buy Hydras, I want you to play for the stability of the lane. I don't want you to do too much in the lane. Don't try to win the lane, you know? Like, I feel like that sort of conversation is a lot more normalized in Dota, Chinese Dota culture compared to other regions.
Yeah, a lot more, maybe kind of micromanagement, but like positive. Like it's very much like they're trying to, you know, they're doing 6v5 Dota, but obviously the 6th player is not playing in the game itself. But they're trying to make full use of that 6th person when it comes to their ideas having an impact on the game. Nice TA find. That was a good smoke move from MagMa. They get a deep ward in the mid lane. They pick off the TA, and doesn't really feel like CDEC are making a response anywhere on the map right now. But it is still CDEC who have a gold lead. They've kind of hit this scary item timing, and with next Roche coming up in 1 to 4 minutes, that could be a problem for MagMa if they're not ready to contest it.
Yep. But it's really just gonna take all it takes is 1 kill on this DP during the EXO, and it's just gonna blast the game wide open for CDEC because they have so much tower damage. They have Edict, they have TA. They can take like 2 tier 2s with just 1 DP kill, I think. So Dust has to be really careful on the DP not to mess up the fight.
Hey, how you going in
Like what? All they need is one Echo Stomp, right? There's no save on MagMa. One Echo Stomp, one lucky Echo Stomp on this DP into a Bushwhack, into a Ursa hitting him with the TA Blink Mel hit. Like this DP is dead in 2 seconds.
Dire's
The
middle
one thing
tower
MagMa
is
have
under
that
attack.
may start using is this Infest initiation. They can invest in this Doom who's got a Blink Dagger, or even the Lion, so they've got multiple ways to start these fights, but for now it's CDC looking to start a fight themselves. They've smoked up, making their move to kind of clear out this enemy jungle around that Roach pit a little bit. They blink in, the Lion gets the Hex out. So with the Enrage is up as Doom gets caught. There's the Echo Stomp, but it's just on the Doom and is used defensively as Beyond is in some trouble now. He's in full retreat, can't blink out for a couple more seconds at least, and he's taking damage. Needs to be bailed out, and the Leshrac will do it, and a great split earth into a sharpshooter. The Lifestealer gets blown up. Doom still does not have his ultimate. He gets a nice hoof stomp out of the Yule Scepter, and it looks like with the X's, they should be able to bring down once here. The damage is just going to be enough with the Spirit Siphon too. They trade Leshrac for Lifesteal, which is actually carry for carry here.
Yeah, really careless by the Lifestealer, I think. Oh,
In mid. They're not done, but the Exorcism's still going. They want more, but they've lost the line in the process, and Dust may have overcommitted a little bit here. Running out of Spirit Siphon charges, just the one left. They've got to kind of treat and make sure they're cutting their losses here.
yeah, I'm not so sure what Shylock was doing on the Lifestealer. I'm sure he saw the Lash. He saw the Lash winding up the stun. I think he just didn't respect the amount of damage that the Sharpshooter was gonna do with the Veil. 900 damage plus Veil, that's like 900 damage before Veil, I mean. It's like 1.1k damage or something. Lifestealer got sniped.
It does. Not looking to let them just take Roche for free. Here they come. This time they have Doom, but no Exorcism, so feels like MagMa have to be able to find that ideal team fight with all their ultimates up, and I think CDC knowing this, that's why they want to force this Roche, or at least force a fight. Exorcism was a big part of that damage output, and
TA mustn't get doomed here. TA mustn't get doomed.
Blink in,
He got stomped
full
by
stomp.
Sinvis.
They didn't have a sentry. The sentry gets planted afterwards. I don't think they quite realize, as Lion needs to be careful not to get caught out here. They go on the Ursa, there's the Infest out. The BKB Doom doesn't find a Doom target right away, but they take out the Ursa, who does have buyback. Not sure MagMa can take Roche themselves without the Exorcism, so Ursa doesn't actually have to buy back. He can just wait the respawn out. Problem is Exorcism will be back up by the time he's alive.
Yep, maybe CDC can start doing the Roche when the Ursa is about 5 seconds, so that the Exo is not up yet. I actually think that they can do it. Now that the Doom has no BKB, but maybe they won't. Just a safer play not to, I guess.
Seems like they're happy to kind of reset things a bit. Death Prophet getting suddenly a big jump up in items. Gets the Pupil's Gift for some plus 14 strength, a Halberd, and a Ghost Scepter queued up. Seeing on 2.3k health, so suddenly this Death Prophet looks a whole lot tankier than she did earlier.
Yep. Shylock on the Lifestealer is going for Assault Cuirass. He kind of lacks damage right now because he bought the Halberd. And he doesn't really have any farming items, so yeah, his net worth is kind of suffering right now. 5th on the net worth charts.
I mean, do you like the Halberd though against obviously two very single target right click clickers in the TA and Ursa? Obviously it makes sense, but do you think there was a better option for him?
I think it's good. I think it's the best item he could have gotten. I think it's just the kind of role that he has to play in this game. He doesn't need to really be the pos one. Like the Doom can do a lot, the DP can do a lot as well.
Here we go. Smoke up. They're looking to go on the high ground. The Spirit.
That's a
is
good
new
kill.
fight, scouting Roche, and they do dodge the Spirit too. If they kill, the ET, that could set them up to take that Roche, and they get the Hex out. This should be a free kill for them. Doesn't look like CDC. You're gonna make any kind of a move. Oh, force up to
that
low
force
ground.
up. It's fine.
Didn't. Oh, he doesn't have Finger of Death.
Yep.
5 position escapes a 5-man smoke gang. Okay, that was unexpected.
Dire's bottom tower is
Yi
under
Feng Le
attack.
is his name. It means upwind.
Infest
of
out.
the
They
TA.
got the Doom on the TA.
Wow.
TA
What
melts.
was he doing? He was farming the Ancients from the low ground?
Alright, we're just there too.
I see a lot of core players get caught up by this bot, you know? Like this bot seeing the tree line
Yeah.
from the high ground. Like, there have been quite a number of times that this happened that I've seen.
Well, not the outcome they were hoping for. What was the, you were giving me Chinese lessons. How do you say the Elder Titan's name?
It's Qi Feng Le. T
What-
is rise, Feng
Okay.
is win, and Le is just like a slang of like already. So it's like rise win
Dire's
already.
middle tower has fallen.
I don't know what it means, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it means something legit in Chinese, but I'm like my Mandarin is just too bad to know.
Also known as Victoria, as former LGD player.
Yep.
Been on CDEC for some time now, but he was on LGD back in I think 2016, 2017. So
The most experienced player on this roster for sure.
yeah, but you know it's a bit of a fall for him. You know, he was a guy that's played at some big name. He played at TI. He actually got 4th place at TI if you go back to 2017. So you know, playing with the new young squad in this CDEC roster and not getting quite the results that he was used to from his past, but making it work.
Yeah, I mean there's something I find it quite respectable whenever a player like that comes back to play POS 5 in a much worse team, because it is really not easy to wake up every day and kind of like not be inspired to play with these teammates, but I'm sure he finds his inspiration somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy.
As far as this game goes in CDC's hopes, things looking a whole lot better than Game 1, where it felt like they were just outstratted, outplayed. They were just a weaker team, and coming into this game too, we felt the story was, CDC, they're the underdogs, they're the weaker team in draft. It's not just about draft, but they're showing a very different story here. They're playing their draft well, have kept things fairly even. I mean, we always look at that indicator at the top, 1k gold lead for CDC, which is basically nothing at 27 minutes. When you see the strategies and how these teams are playing, do you favor either team with where things stand right now?
I think I definitely favor MagMa the later this game goes, just because they have the Doom against the TA. I think as long as they, I mean, if the Ursa manages to get BKB nullifier, then the game gets pretty complicated for MagMa. But for right now, at least, the Ursa is still pretty far away from that, and he doesn't have any farming mechanics, so Ursa's probably gonna be able to finish BKB in this game, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to finish the nullifier. And as long as the Ursa doesn't have nullifier, I think I favor MagMa's late game for now.
And with that second rush going their way, they get some free, axe shards, they get some nice things. Doom up top. They find the Leshrac. There is backup here. Bushwhack not going to help out the Leshrac. Maybe they just look for a deny. Does he go for it? Nope, no opening. Doom just doing too much damage, and with the BKB committed, needs to be careful. The sharpshooter, can he land it with the veil? I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. He blinks to the side, and instead it's the Ursa going down. Lion found the Ursa. He picked him off, gives him a little tip as well. Like the hoodwink there was trying to gun down the Doom, but couldn't find him after the blink away.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what the Ursa is doing in all these fights. Like we see constantly, every fight he's trying to blink in to kill this Lion. Like the Lion is like some 3k player, like, oh, this guy's not gonna press any spells on me. But every fight he jumps in without BKB, he has to use his ulti because the Lion's gonna stun him, right? So he uses his enrage, he doesn't get a kill on the Lion, and he just dies so easily because he's so deep in the fight. Like, maybe he should have just bought the BKB so he can ensure that he can kill this Lion instead of this Basher on the Ursa, so...
Yeah, it feels like even though he was picked in lane against the Lifestealer, it's not his job anymore to like directly lock down and address the Lifestealer.
Yep.
See how things go from here for his game. This Leshrac struggling to stay alive in some of these fights. Juicy Doom targets in. Well, we mentioned you pick more cores against Doom. He's about to have the double Doom with Refresher Orb on the horizon, already queued up. That's a problem for CDEC.
Yep, I was hoping that the MagMa would do more on these Aegis on Shylock, but they're still kind of playing passive after getting the Lash kill. He finished the Assault Cuirass as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Money changes hands.
Well, he's starting to approach that scary late game Lifestealer point, and see where his game goes from here. Has that evasion talent at level 20 as well, so it feels like we're going to have to see MKBs on the range. Yeah, TA's already got the MKB queued up, so recognizing that she's not going to be able to do any damage to this Lifestealer evasion without it.
Yep, the two of them have halberds too on the DP and the Lifestealer. Oh, DP actually has a Blink Dagger now on Dust.
Okay. Now we're seeing more and more just to jump those backlines and get on top, and especially late game when you can transition into those upgraded blinks.
Yeah, I think the best
play.
case scenario for the DP is that the cost, the TA and the Ursa jump into your team, and as a DP you jump to the enemy's backline. So you want to dodge the cost because the cost are the one that can kill this DP right now. And if you manage to kill the ET and the whole wing really fast in the fight, it's just a free fight for you as a DP. You're just gonna be able to kite the cost after that.
And it also means, you know, the Doom and Lifestealer can deal with the cores. They can Doom one, Lifestealer's got lots of damage, and suddenly ET can't use his Force Staff to save them. Hoodwink's being kept away, no more Bushwhacks maybe.
Yep.
Here come MagMa feeling confident.
Whoa, YDS! Oh,
yeah. Okay. The MBM doesn't get him. He goes for the sharpshooter, but he dodges it with the Force Staff. Oh, he gets nicely bailed out there. The Enchantress saving his life.
Come on,
wow, the amount of love.
Very well done to save the Lion there. And yeah, Hoodwink, bit crazy going in to try and stop that outpost steal. They were not looking to fight.
I'm sure you tip him, right? If you're the line, I'm sure you tip your Enchantress. If your Enchantress does that for you. That's a +5 player right there, man.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You sound like a +5 player. You're just trying to farm tips from your teammate. Is that it?
Yeah, man. Sometimes, you know, you give so much love and all you want is some back, you know.
Spend 30 minutes doing your thing and all you have is one Force Staff to show for it in a game, and you make the big play and nobody recognizes it.
Yeah, and the worst part is, right, when calls at the end of the game, they say something like, I don't even know how I survived. And then you're just like, hello? It was me!
Yeah, they just click buttons. They don't actually see what's going on in these fights. These silly cores. Doom, he sees what's going on. He blinks in. He looks for the Doom, but he doesn't BKB. The Bushwhack caught him. He had BKB refresher and got nothing out of that initiation. That's worth. I mean, speaking of tips, CDC should be tipping this Doom.
Oh dear, that's not what you want to see happen. Oh, this Lion is crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Has the A on disc. Oh, Acorn shot, and he goes down. The boomerang was there too. Oh boy.
I heard I could trade some favors for them in some dumb wizard town.
Some crazy stuff going on. And luckily, Roshan is a 3-minute respawn, so they are blessed with a long Roche respawn. That was sloppy from MagMa.
MagMa doing some Dota gymnastics. Not so sure what's happening.
Perhaps amateur gymnastics, because they ended up with their face on the floor.
Is under attack.
Yep. Oh, the Lifestealer actually has a gem.
Okay.
Bought by the Ench. That is kind of weird.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah,
But Chinese teams do prioritize this gem a lot.
Is it what? It's really just the camouflage on the Hoodwink? What? You're not seeing. There's no glimmers.
Camouflage, I guess,
yeah,
for
I guess.
TA trips as well. But I mean, I'm
true.
really not sure. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe they just feel like they're the stronger team right now and they want to close out the map, so they buy a gem to debot everything.
Yep.
Because this Doom has like immense kill threat right now on the map, right? This Doom is like huge. So as long as they maintain visual advantage of the game, this Doom should be able to do whatever he wants.
Yep. You see them, like you say, dewarding the map. This trap's always giving lots of good vision, and that's something that they're going to try and take away as set things up for this potential Roshan. Have Enchantress on the MagMa side to always be scouting that out with creeps, and on the Radiant side you do have those TA traps. So both teams with pretty good Roche scouting capabilities to make their life a little bit easier here.
So I think the fight is right now for MagMa. I think ideally actually what they want to happen is, I actually think they want to start on the Ursa. They want to start on the Ursa with the Lion, with the Blink Hex. Because the Ursa has a BKB. You don't want to let this Ursa use BKB. You hex him, and then you just doom him, and you just kill him. And then you refresh, you BKB, and you use the next doom on the TA or the Lash. Doesn't matter. Anyone is fine.
Smoke out from CDC. Who are they going to find? Doom himself is invis. Not sure Radiant see this. They have some sentries on the ET, but no gem on their side.
Is Dust gonna get jumped and die?
Yeah.
That's
He's
Infest.
positioned just out of the ward range. It's like he knows the ward range. Even Shylock is out of this ward range. Like, you can see these pros are like, okay, we know they may have a ward on that high ground. We're not going to stand in the range of that ward.
Yep. Pretty heads up play from MagMa, shutting down the smoke. I think the Ench is gonna walk over and deward that right now, maybe. Oh no, they're smoking up. They're wrapping around.
Round 2. Here comes the wraparound. Roche back in 15 seconds. Both teams know this Roche is about to respawn. This was pretty much max duration. Lion with the infest.
No.
Sitting on 3,000 health. Who's he going to find? It's the ET. They blink him with a hoof stomp. This should be enough to kill off the ET. He's got the force up to the side. And oh my god, Doom just got blown up. No BKB. Doesn't get off the refresher Doom. It's a disaster for him. The lifesteal is dead as well. The chase is on. The Lion gets a great Earthspike off, but it's really just to cut their losses. This Doom, he has not perhaps tested it out. Maybe needs a hotkey fix or something, but that's 3 dead, and that's going to be a Roshan for CDEC.
So a big part of the fight was also that the Lash managed to press his ulti, he pressed his BKB, and he pressed the Essence Ring. And he pressed everything before the Doom was on him. So he was still pretty much like undoomed when he was in the fight.
Yep. And he's still healing up with some of that life still going too, so.
Yeah, he has the Kaya Sage and the Eternal Shroud, like good shit coming out from CDEC, man, good shit. But honestly, YDS, TZY, man, press your BKB, man, come on.
We're praising his Mars so much, so, you know, it's only fair that we, criticize him a bit here, because all he had to do, pop his BKB and find a second Doom target, and that fight could look very, very different. It ended up working out well. They found the ET first. It wasn't the cores that they were hoping for.
Yep, I mean, honestly, the stuns are coming out really fast by CDEC as well, right? I mean, sure, the Doom definitely can press the BKB, but like the Bushwhacks, and I think it was the Lash stun, I'm not sure what caught the Doom there, but the stuns are coming out pretty fast on the Doom to punish his lack of BKB.
Yep. Feels like one of those things where it's like, you see why everyone builds A on this these days, when if you do get hit by one stun, you can just get blown up from full health. Like a 2.5k Doom just dies and melts. Like, yeah, we can sit here and say, oh, he needs to push his BKB, but sometimes that stun from Fog just catches you and you don't get a chance to once you've been hit by that stun.
Yep, he's not even paper, he has 33 armor and 2.5k HP, but he still just disappeared. The amount of damage on this CDC lineup is insane with the ET. The ET was in melee range as well, that's why I think there was 0 armor on the Doom, that's why he died so fast. Because they tried to initiate on the ET.
Yep. He still gets the plus armor, right? Just confirming.
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yep. He just removed the base armor.
It removes, exactly. It's still like, what, -9 armor. That's a lot when you've got a TA Ursa. So.
Yep. He had 19 armor when they jumped him.
Yeah.
That's still pretty respectable.
Yeah, but
still
this is a level 25 TA now. I mean, this is a 6-slotted TA. Ursa, who is a 3 position, but has all your Ursa items that you need to really deal damage. So, CDC, they're the ones who find themselves pressing forward now. MagMa have yet to find that big team fight off of this refresher Doom.
Is under attack.
It's a pretty hairy situation for TZY. I'm sure he understands how much he has messed up in the past like 20 minutes. But he knows, like, I think he has understanding. Platinum Doom player, you know, they know that they can just win the game off one fight if they execute it well. But there is an Aegis on the TA now, so I really think they need to kill this Ursa first. They need to initiate on the Ursa with the Lion, so the Doom doesn't feel this pressure to Doom the Ursa before he enrages.
And Ursa, perhaps recognizing that, seems to be always positioning further back, leaving the TA in front. Of course, the Aegis carrier, so they're going to leave that Aegis tier in front. And Blood does have the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, so can play all over the map with those psionic projections to kind of TP wherever.
Yep, but the Lion has a gem, so the trap, they can actually camp the trap with the gem and wait for the TA to project to it. And they might actually get the kill on Blood.
The trap bottom, though, is on the high ground, though, so I think it's unlikely they connect the dots there. CDC playing in these Ancients. Here comes the wraparound MagMa. They're going to look to fight this one. Lion blinks in with a Hex Infest Bomb. They go on the TA. The Doom is there on the Leshrac. This time around, he didn't get off his Pulse Nova. The damage isn't coming out yet. Doom got off his BKB. He gets away. As a second Doom now. Who's he going to find? The Lesh is already dead without buyback. Doom goes charging forward with the Shivas. Wants the Ursa, but the Enrage was there because of the Earth Shock. With the Axe Shard, he didn't want to Doom the Ursa, and with good cause. The Doom perhaps waiting for the TA. He's not going to get a chance to use it. He got bashed. The Ursa blinked him from behind and bashed him off. Blood going to project his way out of there. Goes just down to the low ground as the chase with the Exorcism is not going to amount to anything as a TP out from the Hoodwing leads to MagMa feeling like they get nothing out of this fight. All they got was a Leshrac. The TA did die but hadn't Aegis.
Yep, and now Refresher is down on the Doom. Exo is down as well. The moment this Lash comes up, CDEC might just smoke straight away. I think they have a huge timing right now.
A fight where, you know, yeah, he doesn't get off two Doom, but you watch what Doom does there. He doesn't really do anything too wrong. He gets the first good Doom off on the Lesh. He thinks about Dooming Ursa, but can't because of the Enrage. And while waiting for the TA to respawn and throw a Doom on her, he gets bashed by an Ursa. That was just really good play by CDC's Ursa. And you called it. They're going for a smoke. They want to go fight. They know Doom, well, he's also dead for 30 more seconds, so they have a small window here. And Dust, he's caught out. He's in no man's land. He gets picked off with CDC just catching MagMa by surprise.
It's gonna be a buyback, but he has no Exo. This is gonna be a Rex. There's a TP on the outpost as well for the Lesh.
Yep. Leshrac gonna be coming back in, has the Flicker to play around as well. Doom gonna be respawning at least. Refresher up in 30 seconds, so he has the one Doom for now. They blink with the Lion. Start with a Hex, they follow up with the Earthbite. Earthbite catches to it, caught the Hoodwink behind. They throw out the Doom and everything. They want this TA. Can they bring down Blood? He's got buyback, so he can project his way back in this fight if he wants to. And right now, they're doing okay. As nice Infest onto the Lion. That's going to help heal him up, as well as keep the Lifestealer alive. And the TA not waiting for the buyback. Sees the Ursa go down. Another two-man Earthbite catches out two, but this Lifetrack is just doing too much damage. Once is just wreaking havoc. Dust without the Exorcism doesn't have the damage himself. And he's just melting. The TA Ursa, they do finally buy back, projects her way back into the fight, and they're going to clean up. Triple kill for once. This Leshrac, you mentioned it, the Platinum Leshrac, and he is absolutely rolling over them. We'll get the GG, and we're going to a game 3. CDC, they're not done yet.
Wow. You doomed the TA, but the Lash is back, and the buyback. But the buyback from the TA.
Yeah.
Very clean.
The TA waited her time before she committed that buyback, but once she realized what the Leshrac was doing, TA saw that Leshrac going like 1 versus 4 and winning. She's like, I don't want this Lesh getting all the credit for the win. Let me get in there. I need some props. And I mean, what a hell of a game in the end for CDC. They bounced back after a game 1 defeat, which means we've got a game 3. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to head to a very quick break, and we'll talk a bit more about this game as well as what's coming up next. We're going the distance. Stay tuned. For sure, like a lot of people have bias towards here.
Time flies, make love to one daytime. I can't get enough, 'cause it's you that I love.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tier 10 closed qualifiers for China. And lads, we're going the distance here. We thought that, after game one, this might have been written off as a quick 2-0 here for Team MagMa. But CDEC seeming like, this triple carry draft coming out from them felt like a little bit of some of my pubs. But, it seemed to have worked out for them being able to scale a little bit more. And, unfortunately for TZY, we touched on the fact that he looked like a bit of a standout player for MagMa. But Ponlo just couldn't really, win the game for them on that Doom, right?
Yeah, I would say a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes. I don't say it lightly when I compare a player to death, So a little bit disappointed, but yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting how the teams will adjust for the third game. Maybe MagMa will just first phase ban this TA if they don't take it for themselves, because this TA seems like it's an issue,
Yeah, it seems like an issue not just for some of these lower teams, but even for the higher tier teams that we've seen across quite a lot of these qualifiers. It feels like this TA hero is just in kind of a league of its own. And Gods, moving forward here for CDEC, is this a good enough of a confidence boost for them being able to take down MagMa here to at least try and close out this series, understanding what things kind of worked for them for game 2?
Yeah. If anything, going into this, game 3, they're going to have a bit more momentum. It wasn't just a straight up outdraft. I think they just played way better than game 1. Perhaps game 1 was just TI qualifiers jitters. I think, it's the new players, but also older players who get them. We, some of the interviews I was watching with some of like the veterans, like Kuro, Notel, they're like, yeah, we had TI jitters, like playing our first game, like they would lose. I think it was Notel and OG lost game 1, and in the interview saying, I was feeling a bit nervous. I just had to shake it off a bit. But perhaps that's what CDC was, because I think they showed what they're truly capable of here in this game 2, and they just looked like a completely new, different team.
Yeah, well, let's see whether or not they can carry this momentum into game number 3, lads, because we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of this, we're going to have our third and final draft between Team MagMa and CDEC.
Like a diamond, you alone. You cut my heart like glass, just like that. Like a lion, uncontrolled. Your mark is on my back, just like that. In it for the big thrill. Yeah, you play games with my mind, always, all of the time. In it for the big win. Yeah, you own all of my mind, always, all of the time, all the time. Collide with me, come high with me, and I'll go for you. Divine and free, go ride with me. Yeah, we'll go. Let the fire in, lose control. We like to burn out fast. We're hot like that. Like a diamond, you alone. You cut my heart like that, just like that. Yeah, in it for the big thrill. Yeah, you play games with my mind, always, all of the time. In it for the big win. Yeah, you own all of my mind, always, all of the time, all the time. Collide with me, come high with me, and I'll go for you. Divine and free, go ride with me. Yeah, we'll go. We're in it for the big thrill, in it for the big win. We're in it for the big thrill, in it for the big win. Collide with me, come high with me, and I'll go for you. Divine and free, go ride with me. Yeah, we'll go. Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call? So many years has gone by, but I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all, but why didn't you call?
Hello everyone, welcome back. Tier 10 qualifiers is underway here in day number 2, and we're almost at the end of our first series for today. Team MagMa as well as CDEC are going the distance. I got Gods and Ponlo back by my side once again. Lads, Ponlo, I'm going to start with you. With that game number 2, CDEC obviously getting themselves a victory, but do we feel like they kind of shook off their TI jitters after that first game and are now kind of on a little bit more of an even playing field with MagMa?
For sure, I think after losing the first game and on the brink of elimination, your players are sort of like, you kind of just say like F it, and you pull out stuff like the Lash carry for your carry player. You pull out the Ursa off lane. Like we saw once on the Lash, I think he played a really good Lash, even though he had a couple deaths in side lanes to the Doom. But I feel like it was sort of necessary in the game. And at the end of the day, he still dealt so much damage in the last few fights when the TA got doomed. So it definitely wasn't like a TA show. Like once did a lot on the Lash, and I think CDEC definitely they're doing much better than they were doing in the first game, because I think it's sort of like elimination. So all the chains are broken, right? You just wanna do whatever's left, basically.
Exactly, you got to kind of throw everything out there because if you don't win this game, then you're not moving forward in the 10 out of 10 qualifiers. So, Gods, I guess kind of talk us through how this draft is going so far. The opening picks are a lot more stock standard, but I think the bans are probably something you might want to talk about a little bit, right?
Yeah, before we came back, I saw these bans and I was like, dude, Ponle, they banned TA. You're a genius. You know what you're talking about. And then I saw the above ban. Well, they banned Venge? What the hell? This hero is not being picked in a single region. I also then went back. Game 1, they also banned Venge. I guess we're so used to. I think you get to these drafts and we're just kind of ignoring these first few bans. But what the hell are they banning Venge for? No one's picking this hero. CDC haven't played the hero in 6 months. They must have scrimmed. I guess. I got nothing. I don't know. All right, Polo, you're a support player. Is Venge OP? Yeah. What's the deal?
Shh, guys, don't tell them. Venge is actually secretly OP.
Okay.
Don't tell Gaben.
We'll keep it between us and Twitch.
I mean, maybe it's a carry Venge, right? Because I think you only first phase ban something when it's like super potent to flex, or it's a core hero that you can't deal with, like TA.
Yeah.
And probably like CDEC once. Like maybe this guy once is actually a genius Vengeful Spirit player. And we just never got to see it because it's always banned. I don't know.
I mean, maybe that is the secret sauce that CDEC is going to have. You know, if they move forward from this series, then maybe some of these other teams need to, take a feather out of the cap here from Team MagMa. But I guess moving forward, there's a lot of more interesting things. We actually get to see the Ancient Apparition this time around from these teams. Obviously it's been one of those kind of first phase bans for a long time just because of how potent it is. But then CDEC opened back up with the Viper on the other side. Do we feel like Gods, this Viper is going to be enough of a deterrent for the Dragonite for him to not have just a free kind of game? But he still does go for a very early BKB though, right?
Yeah, I think the Viper pick's great. It's great because you can flex it. Like we've seen, you can put it mid if you get a good matchup. It can play in the off lane. Even some teams in South America during the qualifiers were playing as a support. So the Nether Toxin just blocks so many picks. It reminds me of like the same reasoning behind the Nyx Assassin picks at times, or especially in the past, where it's like there's a Nyx on the other team. You don't want to play any of these int heroes, or you just melt to the mana burn or to the Carapace against the spellcasters can be really bad. So I think Viper is just like you don't have to worry about like a Spectre coming out, for example. Like suddenly all these heroes that are good in the meta are not as good against Viper.
And we'll see if they will be trying to flex it a little bit more here for CDEC, or whether or not it's probably just going to be one of those core Vipers that we've seen quite a lot so far. Basically, just it feels like a lot of recency bias for some of these bans as well, right? Seeing the Park and the Lifestealer being banned out here from CDEC, same with the Death Prophet. So it feels like they're kind of trying to shore up their final game draft here and not try and get themselves caught out by what kind of ruined them a little bit earlier on. Coming out from Team MagMa though, Ponlo, do we feel like that they want to try and lean on a little bit more of a hyper carry for Shylock, or do we feel like these kind of early game, mid-tempo kind of carries are what he kind of relies on? Well, I mean, I guess there's the Morphling, so.
I think I'm not sure if Dust plays the Morphling. I think he is able to. So maybe this Morph is a flex because MagMa have second pick and they want to have that option. But I don't think I've ever seen Dust play this hero before, but maybe he has practiced it recently because it's been quite a long time since we've seen MagMa play officials, about 2 months. So it's definitely enough time for a player like Dust, rank 2 on the leaderboards, in China leaderboards. This guy has so much individual skill. I think he will be able to play the hero if he practiced it.
Yeah, I was looking through some of the past games. It does look. I think Dust plays it more than Shylock,
oh, really?
if anything, actually.
I see.
Yeah, looking through Shylock's past games on the carry, he's very. At least it's not in like his top 15 or 20 most played carries. So we could be seeing it either way. I mean, imagine Shylock can play it. But it's not like one of his most played pub or pro game heroes, so
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, the Morph middle is a very Chinese teams like to do it a lot, so.
Wow, okay. Quick draft though. CDC quickly respond with a Terrorblade, then a Pengo comes out. The Pengo's control, I feel like, very good option against the Morphling. Just gives you some good, well-rounded team fight, good hero kind of. Just to cover your draft, and basically a draft that didn't have any team fight. Like one of the weaknesses I think of Viper is that it's just not a particularly strong team fighter, and Pengo can kind of shore things up there.
And this is something we've been seeing a little bit more from the Chinese region as well. We've been seeing, yesterday September was picking up the Pangolier as opposed 4 a little bit. So I guess just kind of giving themselves more flex opportunities, right? With this Pango who can be a 3, can play mid as well, can play 4. Same with the Viper. The Viper can kind of flex around a little bit here. You've only really got the line and the Terrorblade locked in. So it gives them a little bit more flex coming into their final pick because they have to do it blind as well, right, Ponlo?
Yeah, but I mean, the opponent has the last pick, so the value of your flex picks are not that high for this for your second phase picks. Maybe the Viper flex is good because your Viper being able to flex affects the Morphling and the Earth Spirit picks, right? But the Pango being able to flex doesn't really affect anything. Maybe just the bans. So I think it's gonna be pretty. CDEC's just gonna run a Viper 3 and a Pango 4, pretty solid lane against the AA. At one point, I'm sure the AA can't even lane anymore. The AA will die so easily, so he's just gonna go stack or something. So MagMa are gonna need to find a carry to be able to lane against this Viper, which is Viper Pangolier is pretty strong, and they snowball really quickly. I'm not sure what carry they can go for here.
Yeah, unless they feel like the Morphling can play there, because they may also be worried about it. I guess if they see Viper going mid, they probably don't want to play the Morphling mid against the Viper as well. But they'll have a better idea of what those lanes are once CDEC reveal this last pick of theirs.
I guess CDEC need their own kind of either mid laner or off laner, depending on where the Viper wants to situate itself here. A lot of the very stock standard ones have been taken out. I feel like maybe a little bit more extra team fight from CDEC wouldn't go far, right?
Yeah, they also lack some damage, I think, at least before TB comes online, like early to mid game wise. Viper's not a hero that's going to blow anyone up. Lion when you've got Finger, but when Finger's on cooldown, I feel like they may have some damage problems. So getting that kind of, like that's where I feel like Kunkka type hero that was banned out would have been good. You can just catch somebody and blow them up with the ghost ship. So we'll see. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more burst damage coming out.
Maybe something along the lines of an axe wouldn't be too bad, I think. Maybe one of those offlaners that can kind of give you a little something. You can go with the Ember Spirit.
Axe. Yeah,
Okay.
Ember mid, okay. Now you can definitely do Morph mid though. Morph is traditionally one of those heroes that was considered a counter to the Ember mid, so I feel like this, if anything, MagMa sees this and is like, okay, well, Morph mid time, or like, because your Morphling's going to have a rough lane against Viper Pengo potentially, so being able to run the Morphling mid I think feels really good.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see what carry they're gonna pick against this Viper Pangolier. Is it gonna be something crazy like Alone Druid? I don't know.
Unless they're just doing like DK safe. I mean, I don't think you want to do DK safe lane of the Viper though, so I don't know. Nothing stands out. CDC strangely were banning out offlaners. I guess they're expecting a Morph carry DK mid.
Ooh. Lycan.
And it is a carry Lycan. Well, that's how you play against the Viper, I guess, is have some summons? Not sure how good Lycan is
MagMa
these
with
days.
the funk. I like
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess this is the first time in a long time that I've actually seen this Lycanthrope actually come into competitive play. So I'm interested to see what Shylock builds, right? So I guess the next question to you, Ponlo, is this Lycan final pick enough for MagMa to kind of shore up that kind of safe lane for them?
No. But I mean, MagMa to me are the stronger team in terms of individual skills, so maybe that will make it enough. But I think I favor CDEC's draft more in this game.
Are you going to go with CDEC for game number 3 here, Ponlo?
Yep.
All right. What about you, Gods? What are you feeling with this one? Is the funk enough for you this time around, or are you going to try and stick to your boys once again?
It's hard for me to predict. I have no idea what to expect out of a Lycan these days. I'm kind of the same as you. I'm going to go the other way and go with MagMa. I think the Morphling having a good game is kind of going to be the key thing for me. So very curious to see how that mid matchup goes and if Dusk can put his team on the back. Because I don't think the Lycan has a great game. I feel like TB, generally speaking, is a good matchup against the Lycan. So I think a lot of pressure is on this Morphling to deliver.
All right, well, let's see whether or not the Morphling can deliver or whether or not the big bad Terrorblade will be the king of the carries once again. So we're going to head into game number 3 here between Team MagMa and CDEC. See you guys on the other side.
Here we go. It is MagMa busting out a Lycan, and this is no longer the old Lycan. Necrobook moved from Dota 2. What do we expect from a Lycan pick here in 2021, Ponlo?
I mean, the common build that's in Southeast Asia is the Armlet, Echo Saber, Assault Cuirass kind of build, Satanic, because you get some insane Feral Impulse damage at level, level 20. You get plus 30 Feral Impulse damage on your aura.
Yep.
So yeah, I've played against the Lycans in this
30
patch, and
seconds to battle.
when the hero gets off to a good start, when you have a good laning phase, you have a good Armlet timing, a good Echo Saber timing, you get some few kills, you snowball. Like, this hero is bloody scary. But in this game, I don't think his lane is gonna be that good. It's a Viper Pango against a Lycan. It's like, sure, you can get a bit of farm here and there, but it's still gonna be quite rough, I think.
Oh, they're ready. A trapped lane. Cold Feet, Dragon Tail combo. Once in some trouble, the Cold Feet going to proc. Earthspirit was looking for a roll, but Lion actually managed to block it for the most part. The roll going to end up missing, but they still get first blood. It's on the AA, so not the best hero to get it, and Lion going to actually deny the bounty rune. Oh, cheeky little play coming out as Earthspirit actually ended up rolling on over and stealing the enemy bounty rune while he was out. Still has a rolling boulder to play around as he's going to go for a TP on out. TP's himself top. And high action start to this game.
Oh, low HP, not Earthspirit. Pepe hands.
Yeah.
Found the Earthspirit, I'm so sad here. He's already firing out a south.
Lion walks into him. Perhaps not expecting this. Lion kind of ignores him. They're just looking for the DK here. As Earthspirit gets some free right clicks in. And it's got that ring of protection.
He should just pull this straight away.
Yeah. This is the Metamorph where you don't really want to fight into the Metamorph, and yeah, he's going to get the wave to run away with. Goes for the rolling boulder, and he's going to maybe try and block this camp. The Earth Spike is there. He does get the block off. Nicely played by Mien Mien. This does take a lot of damage to do this, though.
The Lion should have followed him to stop him from using the south.
Yeah.
Now he's leveling up and he's going to get the whole wave. But the range creep is following the DK though.
Yeah, that's maybe okay. I feel like Earthspirit can actually pull this way back and deny the range creep if anything too, but doesn't look like he's going to try and do that. DK fighting the Lion by himself, so. Okay. I'm a little surprised Earthspirit didn't deny the range creep there. I guess he just didn't want to pull the creeps off.
Yep, maybe he's just lazy, man.
Yeah.
TI qualifiers, no big deal. It's fine.
I was just wondering, yeah, if there's a reason for it. I feel like that's something, I'm a pleb. I'd be looking to deny every range creep I can. I'm playing Oracle in the off lane, denying every range creep at level 3.
Yep, for sure.
That's my mentality.
I mean, maybe he's just thinking about something complicated, like which lane to rotate to and stuff like that at which point of the game. And he's just, being a bit careless.
His brain's moving.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yep. Taking a peek at some other lanes, Morphling versus Ember. So far, no. I mean, I feel like every time I see this lane, the Ember just... It looks like he's maybe going to kill the Morphling. The Morphling's always playing on a sliver of health, but it never happens. And Morphling just kind of free farms.
Yeah, this lane is like, I would say, even almost a 7-3 at the end of the day. Like, at 8 or 9 minutes, this Morphling is going to be knocking on your door constantly. Your tower is going to take chip damage throughout the entire laning phase.
Viper got hit by the Cold Feet, and they actually get the kill first. They will probably lose the Lycan in the process, but Lycan with that early starting buckler, being able to block some of that damage output with the bonus armor, and still has the Wolves to go for these last hits, so nice play to get the kill first, but Lycan does die in the process.
I mean, the Pango has solo levels, and now he's level 3 already. Like, this Pango is bloody scary. Probably gonna ferry out the Blightstone. He's gonna have like a 5-minute orb of corrosion. I don't think this Lycan can lane soon.
And that's from the 4th position roll. So having an orb of corrosion there. Meanwhile, the Viper doing damage. And he just TP'd to lane and he instantly died. Meanwhile, Pango gonna pull the creeps off with the salve, runs away from the AA. So now this creep wave under the tower beyond is still getting these poison attacks off. It looked like the Pango. Yep. AA gets 1 kill, still has some regen ticking in. The earn damage will be enough, and Beyond with an early earn is just wreaking havoc. Oh boy.
How do you feel so far about your prediction, Guts? So
you know,
this
it-
Lycan.
it's not about the. I'm going to back my predict. This game is all on Dust to carry. This game is all on the Morphling because this Lycan is. He needs to go jungle. Level 3 lane is lost. AA is now your safe laner.
I mean,
But-
if there's anyone on MagMa you wanna put your hopes on, it's probably Dust, right? I think he's the best player on this squad. So
Lycan will try come back to this bottom lane, but I don't think anything nice awaits him. The Orb of Corrosion you mentioned is already out. Viper with an Urn means anytime they go for a kill, it's like an extra like 150 damage nuke with the offensive Urn. So that's problematic. TP in mid. The Morphling kind of baits things here. The Earth Spirit making that first rotation. You mentioned maybe that's what he was doing earlier, thinking about that first move. He finds it here, doesn't get the kill though, just not quite enough damage.
yeah, but this is still good pressure, right? Like look at Ember. He's so sad right now. He has no bottle charges. There's no power rune. There's no water rune. He has no level 6. Like he actually can't really walk up into this game.
Hey, he's like, I can't fight this damn Pango. There's the lucky shot proc, and Pango with the kill gets the point in shield crash just to bail him out.
Oh, the Ember. He's dead.
This time around, successful.
Yup.
So, MagMa crush mid and CDC crush bottom. That's what it feels like is going on. And top lane, how are things looking there? Looks like CDC actually winning this lane as well.
Yep, it's just a solo DK against a TB Lion. But I think the DK will always be able to get levels in this lane. Oh,
Yeah,
he's gonna
doing
die.
fine until this rotation comes in. Lion with a nice move from behind.
Radiant's top
The reflection
tower is
helping
under
give vision. It's going to be close. TB getting kind of blocked by Zone Illusion there, and actually they lose vision, so it looks like
Radiant
DK will survive.
structures are fortified.
Wow,
Radiant's
0-2-2
top tower is
build,
under
not a
attack.
single point in Breathe Fire.
They are gonna do so much damage to this tower with the siege creep. 3 range creeps. Pretty surprised no one on MagMa is coming over to help actually. Not even the Earth Spirit. He's on bottom.
I think they're recognizing this bottom lane such a disaster. They have to do something, and Earthspurt gets a nice initiation on the Beyond, but the Lion is there to save the day with the Earth Spike, but the Cold Feet still procs. Viper gets back to safety. The Ice Vortex Soul is still there. Beyond happy to die for this one because they're going to clean up 3. Lion!
Oh, this is the Pango dream, man.
Oh.
He's almost level 6.
He's basically a core at this point. Victoria with the rotation, making things happen. This Lion has been absolutely stellar.
Alright guys, what's the game plan now guys? The enemy Pangolier is getting level 6 at 7 minutes. Shit's about to go down, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, I realize this is maybe more the way we see the Morphling played in some of these other regions, but you know, having at least the teams I've seen playing Morphling, like in NA, it's always like we're going the Ags combos. They're still going like Dark Below Morphling and going for those cheesy Ags plays. It doesn't feel like there's the amazing Ags target this game. I mean, the TB, you can get that Metamorph is nice, but it's not quite comparable.
Yep, I mean, I think having the combo just secures your output in the late game, right? You know that you definitely can have quite a lot of damage as long as you get there. I think in this kind of game, it's a bit hard to say what the Morph can do in the late game. You might just get like clobbered by the Terrorblade Skadi as the Morph this game.
Yep.
The only real teammate that you can use is the Earth Spirit, but I'm not sure if you want your POS 1 to be a gymnast, you know.
No.
I think you want your POS 1 to be like a turret, you know.
Yep.
So.
We'll maybe see him use some of those enemies, like the Ember can always look nice when you steal the Searing Chains for a quick Sleight of Fist Chains combo before going back to the Morph form, so...
Yep.
Viper, you can steal the Nether Toxin, potentially, so... Some decent ones, but it's not the late game cheese.
Yep. I mean, even the Terrorblade, the Terrorblade, if he can get it, is pretty good, right? You reflect the Terrorblade and the Super Late game.
Yeah.
But I mean, you are not gonna buy Aga or Morphling to morph the enemy because you just can't be sure that you're gonna have that, right? You're not gonna be sure you're gonna be able to morph. So you're just gonna buy
that.
standard items.
Yeah. Whatever it may be. SMYs, Mantas, E-Blade potentially, I guess, if he wants that real burst damage coming out. But here we go, CDC making another move there. TB's next meta, once getting active, looking to pressure these lanes, coming down for this bottom tier 1. And things looking rough for MagMa. They still don't have level 6 on their carry Lycan, so he's just going to be bullied out. I think he's probably wishing he did go to that jungle earlier on. So he is not getting any farm or any levels right now.
I think this adjustment that CDEC is making is super smart, right? They have a Pango 6, so they move their TP bot to take the tower super early, and they actually move their Viper top to lane against the DK. So if this DK tries to touch the tower, I'm sure the Pango just TPs and he just dies to this Viper Pangolier, which is, I think, is going to happen right now.
Oh, we're going to find out. Yeah, this Pango,
Dire's courier
he's
has
got
been
that
killed.
TP ready. He's going for it. You mentioned it. I don't know. Earth Spirit scouted out, but the Ember is there too, so they'll definitely get the Earth Spirit in. Perhaps good news for MagMa is the DK does not get caught and he gets out of there in time.
Yep. But pretty smart of CDEC to move their carry bottom to take that tower so early. I think it's super smart. Super smart.
He's got jungle camps to now rotate to. He can go back to his own Ancients. There's a bit of a stack there going, so doesn't have the Metamorph, so it might be a little hard to bump. Now mid lane. Oh, they've got the initiative. It's Victoria again. Gets that.
起风了.
Oh. The
Taking
plays.
plays on the level 5 Lion.
Yeah. That's, yeah, pre-Finger of Death, and it's about to hit level 6 at 10 minutes without the Tome of Experience. Like, both supports on the CDEC side having great levels despite, yeah, not needing the Tome. It's only 10 minutes, despite nothing.
Yep. So at this point, who should get the Tome? Oh, Pangolier still takes it, you greedy guy. He's gonna be level 8 at 10 minutes, dude. Yeah. YDS. He's
loving life.
I mean, having more levels on the disarm is definitely gonna be useful against heroes like DK and Lycan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lycan is going for that Armlet Echo Saber build you mentioned, but it's going to be some time before he gets there. Has hit level 6, so we'll see if there's going to be any early moves. They are making a play around this top side of the map, but it feels like CDC may be ready for this. Pango sitting in the trees, and he is perhaps well positioned to turn this one around with a Rolling Thunder. Ember Spirit has a TP available. That's perhaps the key here to rotate on in, and they are going to make those TP plays. Viper gets gone on. Guys plus Fulp is there, but the Rolling Thunder catching out too. Looking to bounce back. The entire MagMa team is banking on this rotation working, but they're just getting ping-ponged by this Pangolier. The damage just isn't there to follow him up though. And with the Ember rotating in, he's getting chased away by the Lycan, so it's Pango who's kind of caught on his own. The shield crash is not going to keep him alive. Blood comes back in with a Remnant though. Is going to clean up the AA, needs to get away from the cold feet, succeeds in doing so. A 2-for-2 trade. As neither Morph nor Terrorblade show up for this one, so a 4v4 leads to an even exchange.
Yep, I mean, the TB did something really good. He, instead of jungling during that time, he stood mid against the Morph, so the Morph couldn't hit the tower while all of that was happening.
Okay.
I think it was a really smart macro play coming out from MagMa. I think they just want to use 4 heroes to touch the top tower so that CDEC need to respond. But actually, their main objective is actually the Morphling mid hitting the mid siege, hitting the mid tower with the siege creep. But yeah, the Terrorblade was ready for that, and he matched the tempo of the Morphling. So at the end of the day, MagMa hasn't done any objective damage. So I think CDEC are pretty happy with it.
TB Morph both continue to farm. Morphling going straight into that E-Blade, level 10 already. Has the Ghost Scepter to at least give him some early game fighting capabilities and some extra stats, but we'll see how things go. Is this an amazing E-Blade game where he's just going to pick this up and start chewing through CDC, or how do you see this game changing with the E-Blade pickup?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if the Earth Spirit is godly, they can just kill anyone, right? With the burst. With the Rolling Boulder. I mean, they can kill Ember. I'm sure they can kill TB. I think it's just a good item to have to enable your mid game, because you suddenly just have kill strike on the entire map with a smoke, just with 2 heroes with A blast. And CDEC is gonna have to play like very tight once this EB is up.
TP's down bottom. They smoke up. They were just out of range of this Dire Ward. They see the Lion though. Blink Stun is available. Who are they going for though? I think they're not sure they can get this Terrorblade. They're going to try. He has got the Sunder to deal with the Ice Blast. Instead, they're going to take out the Lion. Go for the easy kill, but here comes Pangolier. Gets a nice shield crash off on the 2, but gets silenced up afterwards. The Magnetize. Can they burst him down? The Dragon Tail still on cooldown. Means they cannot. That's the Rolling Thunder Gonna help bring out the Earth Spirit, and he's looking for more. It's like he's just gonna realize he needs to roll his way on out. There's even dust on the Morph is rotating on over, so both teams will cut their losses with their support going down.
Yep, pretty even game so far, surprisingly. Even though the Lycan had a really bad start, he's slowly catching up, slowly but surely.
Yep.
He's almost same net worth as the Viper actually, because the Viper has been the one tanking all the ganks. I'm not so sure about this Vessel first item on the Viper. In theory, it makes sense because you're against DK and Morph, but I don't feel like you are in the position to do that. You know, I don't feel like you can even survive the fight long enough for you to kill this Morph. Maybe they just need to smoke up properly with the Pango Lion and the Viper and initiate on the Morphling to use this Vessel. But so far, they haven't got any value from this Vessel.
Yeah,
I think
it feels like MagMa's doing a good job of making plays happen away from Morph. Whether first it was the top tier one, then even just that play there where they trade supports. It feels like it's constantly something is happening, and that means there's no attention on this Morphling.
Yep. The Viper is, I mean, the last two fights, he just like kind of died really quickly because he bought this first item Vessel without a hood, without any strength items, without HP.
Dire are scanning.
And Morphling did have an illusion rune, so even ganking with that Vessel could be hard with the Dispel, but that's now worn off as MagMa making another play. It's constantly, let's just keep making moves. Morphling's about to hit E-Blade. He actually has the money for it now, so this could be a timing for MagMa. They'd love to get control around this mid lane. If they can get this tier 1 tower, win a fight, potentially even an early Roshan is on the cards. But they've got to win that fight first, and that's easier said than done. As, oh, they find an Ember Spirit walking in. That's a huge kill for them. The Radiant Ward scouting him out, and I imagine Ember's going to realize there's a ward up there. Can they make a counterplay in the mid lane? Doesn't look like it. It's a Morphling, and without like a Lion Blink Dagger, I just don't think that's possible. Radiant Ward is there behind the tower. They get the jump with the Terror Blade. Can they bring him down? The Rolling Thunder's there waiting, though. I think they realize this TP is not the target to go for. Thunder comes out with a Breathe Fire being used, just knowing he's going to die. The E-Blade gets dodged! Oh, wow. The Manta Style! Keeping him alive. Dust was going for the blow-up on the TB and couldn't get it, unfortunately, but they're still chasing him. He doesn't have Sunder. He's just going to get chased down. The haste on this Morphling. He steals the Lion form with the Earth Spike. He's going to get this Viper. The Viper will get one more kill on the way out, but this is looking great for MagMa. Dust has forced him more for a bit of strength, but he is A-okay. Great use of the haste rune.
Yep, the Viper I saw, he actually Spirit Vessel the Earth Spirit instead of the Morph, so this Morph was feeling pretty godlike in the fights with the haste rune.
He was just going unchecked, and that was with his E-Blade combo missing.
Yep. I mean, I'm not sure. I feel like if you buy this Vessel, like you just put it on the Morph, and I don't think MagMa can fight like that. I really don't think this Morphling is supposed to be that strong right now. But yeah, this Ultra Kill like changes everything, because right now this Morph is just, he's already halfway to his next item. Just after finishing his E-Blade, he's already 9.5k gold net worth.
Yeah. Perhaps importantly, things were a bit disjointed for CDC. Like that fight started with Ember, still dead after getting picked off, and then he respawns, and the fight's kind of already like the TB had to use Sunder very early there. We go.
Yeah,
CDC looking to make the counterplay of their own. They've got a smoke going. Earth Spirits pops it in the trees, position a Rolling Thunder on through. Going on the two supports here. AA should melt here. There's a nice blast perhaps before he goes down. Not a whole lot coming. This time the E-Blade hit will land on the TB with the Earth Spirit stun setting things up. The DK in some trouble here, but Morphling did take out the TB, but they get absolutely wiped to do so. So great fight for CDEC, even though Dust makes it. What the hell? He kills the Lion? How did the Lion die? Just found him over here in the trees.
Well, the Terror Blade didn't Manta dodge this one.
Yeah, I believe it was he stunned up by the Earth Spirit, did you see, or did you not
yeah,
sure,
I think so. The Rolling Boulder.
Well,
yeah, but the vision advantage in the fights. CDC, they finally, for the first time in this game, they went on the offensive and planted the vision, initiated on the Lycan and the AA.
That's what they needed. Yeah, this is the kill they'd love to get, but have not been able to get this game, except for that one earlier kill, which didn't really lead to a whole lot.
Yeah, I want to see CDEC like continue playing at this pressure. I feel like their heroes are way stronger right now with the roll, with the
Roll in mid, he gets the silence and the kick back. Oh, they were so close to getting the Dragon Tail. I imagine DK was just trying to click it, but it was getting bounced around a bit too much. Rolling Thunder is there. Dust doesn't have a wave for a couple of seconds. That was so well executed by MagMa. It was just slight. He silenced him during the roll, then kicks him back into the DK, who just couldn't Dragon Tail before the Remnant away.
Yep. I mean, he had the Flame Guard up, and the AA Blast already missed, right? So I'm not that sure that they could have bursted the Ember there, but it was a very clean attempt regardless. It was a nice try.
Oh.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Power.
attack.
Looking in this mid lane as Earth Spirit perhaps the one getting caught a bit out of position here, but he is going to set things up for a Dragon. No, Ice Blast and E-Blade. He's baiting. Down goes Ember.
Yeah, you can't do that as an Ember.
Yeah.
I'm sure you just Remnant out. He already had a Remnant placed, but he was just a bit greedy to do the damage. I'm sure the Earth Spirit was already dead. He had no Magic Wand or Yule or anything yet. Little careless by
happy about
blood.
that one.
Dire's
DD rune
top
on the
tower
Morph.
is under attack.
Oh gosh. Now you're looking at either a big team fight or even potentially something like Roshan. Great hero to get a DD on. Maybe waiting for that Manta style first before they try and force too much. Dragon Knight up top, pressuring this tier 2 tower. Will be defended a little bit by the Viper, who's just going to play in the trees. And we'll have to see if they go into this Roshan pit. It looks like Dust indeed wants to go for this one.
Us with this Manta right now is unkillable. No Vessel. It is so strong. It's gonna take ages as well. Oh my god, this Morphling is huge.
I don't think CDEC were ready for that one. They perhaps not anticipating a double damage and also just split up on the map. They were not in a spot where they could contest that at all.
Yep, throughout the game, I always felt that CDEC should be the one on the offensive, but right now with this Aegis and Manta on the Morph, I don't think CDEC can really fight anymore for quite a long time until they get like their BKBs or the Viper.
Ooh, they see the Viper, yep, with the Ice Blast, scouts him out, allows Dust to just go waving on in to finish him off. And considering how well this Viper Pengo lane went, things are falling apart quickly for them.
Yeah, I mean, because most of the net worth went to the Pango, right? The Pango had a really good game, but
Dire's top tower
YDS actually bought an Eel instead of the dagger on the Pango, so they don't actually have that direct initiation right now because they have no dagger on Pango, no dagger on Lion. So I feel like maybe the Pango itemized wrongly here. Like the game feels kind of awful for them because they don't have that initiation right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Spirit
attack.
rolling into the
Dire's
trees.
middle tower
Does he
has
go for
fallen.
this Pango here? He is going to roll in, gets the stun, no follow-up nearby. It looks like he's just trying to bait out some spells. As MagMa continue to play more around this middle part of the map. A lot of dire vision in this Radiant jungle, so not an easy place for MagMa to perhaps get a good fight.
Yep, he's gotta get the order now though.
Another
Cass.
power rune going back. Feels like these power runes are having a big impact. We saw the haste rune on the Morphling earlier, winning them a fight. The double damage to Cure Roche. Now he gets an illusion, which gives him another way to dispel as well in these fights.
Yep, instant smoke coming out from MagMa.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Dust
attack.
is feeling it.
There's a BKB on Terrorblade. That, to me, feels like the big timing for CDEC where they just don't get blown up by the E-Blade and can maybe try and fight back. It's going to be these BKBs, but Ember's still almost 1,000 gold away from his and needs to be careful. If they scout him out bottom, DK has a blink stun. Not going to go for it. Instead goes for the Pengo. Finds a different target. Ice Blast following up the Yules. They'll get the kill on Pengo. Ember getting out of there.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that the Terrorblade. I mean, I think he can survive the fight with the BKB, but I feel like all his teammates are gonna die right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it really goes back to having a Viper off lane. You have no aura items. Your Viper has a Vessel, Travel, Force stuff. It's like this guy dies so quickly, and unless the Pangolier is able to make up for that, like, yeah, I think the fight for CDEC is gonna feel like Terrorblade versus everyone else right now.
And as far as that Terrorblade goes, it feels like even in that BKB, he's not going to necessarily be able to kill any of these heroes particularly quickly. Like, the Morph is elusive, and DK and Lycan are both very tanky. DK with his passive, Lycan with just a ton of armor as well.
Yeah, the only hero he can really kill right now is Earth Spirit
Radiant's top tower
with the meta,
has
so
fallen.
all MagMa need to do is like kill someone, force out the meta, and reset the fight.
MagMa have full control of this map. They go from the bottom tower, now they're running towards top, looking for some action. They have the Lycan Wolf scouting out this Viper. This is such good play coming out from the Lycan, using that Invis tool to set up this kill. Beyond, well, he's trying to do what he can, but there is no escape for him. Rolling bowler after rolling bowler, finding him. And they'll get the kill in the end. Took them a little bit of time, but they got there. Really, really sick play from the Lycan using these wolves in that specific way.
Shylock got. I mean, both these teams, right? Their carry players seem to shine more when they're put on these like artistic heroes, you know. The Lash
Yeah,
on once last game, the Lycan this game on Shylock. I mean, his laning was super rough, but you know, quite yes.
Just Earth Spirit step again. They had the ward there. It's the Tinker wards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite impressed by the Lycan not getting so like tilted over the laning phase, and he actually slowly but steadily came back into the game. You know, he didn't queue up a Midas, you know, like some carries would. My lane sucks. And they just say, I gonna farm the entire game. I'm not coming to any fight, you know.
And his impact on this game has still been fairly low compared to most of his teammates, but he's doing whatever small thing he can, like the Lycan Wolf scouting there. Like, he's not able to have a big teamfight impact. He's not carrying this game, but he's doing the little things.
Yep, but I think he's gonna have a huge impact soon, because he's pretty farmed like, right now. He's more farmed than the Ember. Like, this Lycan is gonna like 4-hit the Viper, I think.
Yeah.
This Viper is gonna disappear in the fights. The Lion as well.
These heroes are gonna have to run for their lives when this BKB Lycan starts charging at him. Well,
yeah, and the moment the Lycan kills the Viper, then there's no more Vessel, right? So the Morph is like, the Morph has a free fight. Oh, by the way, the Morph has a DD and a BKB.
well, CDEC want to start a fight. They jump into the mid lane with the Blink Hex. Here comes the counterplay, the Finger of Death. Can they blow up this Lycan in time? They're going to get him before he gets the BKB off. But the backline is just melting as this Morphling just does too much at once. Ooh, he barely TP's out in time. His BKB actually wore off at the end. They're looking to get the AA as well as Dust. It's just wreaking havoc as Pongolier goes down. Ponlolier. I was thinking Ponlo and then Pengo, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Well,
Yeah,
they got the Lycan.
Dust made a small error there. He actually turned down the DD like really late. Oh, I think the TV would have died.
Or something.
No, he didn't turn the DD on, even though his BKB was already on. And only when the TP started channeling the TP, Dust turned on the DD.
Oh,
So
I see.
if he turned on the DD at the start of the fight, like I'm sure the TP would have died.
Yep.
And that would probably have been game. But yeah, there's no way that CDEC can deal with this Morph right now. Dust, he's playing so well on the Morph. He's doing every single thing right, like almost, except it just cap him.
Just looking, unstoppable in these fights, and feels like a lot of pressure on Victoria to make the plays to bring down this Morphling in a fight. This Lion made some very important and effective rotations in the laning stage in the early game, but we haven't really felt the same ability for Victoria to find those clean jumps. I mean, he got a clean jump there, but it's on the Lycan. And if anything, that's another case where Shylock happy to do the little things for his team. The play was, let's rotate mid, smoked up. We're going to use Shylock as bait. And sure enough, he got jumped on. They were hoping probably to keep him alive, but they're happy to see him going down to win a fight like that.
Yep, even if the Lycan dies, I'm sure the Morphling will just clean everyone up. But the Lion is actually doing something a little weird. I think he actually has level 3 in Mana Drain. I feel like this is the kind of game where you just max out your hacks and you just hope that you get a lucky hex on this Morphling, you know. Like, there's no way this Lion is gonna be able to stand in the fight to use this Mana Drain at all. So I'm kind of surprised that he didn't just choose to max the hex here.
He's going to have to hope to get some more levels soon. Make up for that, but as it stands, it is Roshan o'clock. MagMa just posturing around the Roshan pit. This time a power rune just to regen rune, so not as perhaps impactful in a team fight as some of those other ones, but still something a Morphling can always make use of. We'll see Roche respawning in 2 minutes, so it's going to be a bit of a long respawn. But CDC are going to be forced to perhaps come out of their base if they want to contest the possible Roche.
Gonna be a longer Roche even now, plus the pause time. Very long.
When you're playing, do you feel like pauses can kind of, mess with your flow of the game? Like, whether it's cooldowns, Roche timers, maybe you write them down, but does it affect you as a player when these pauses start coming out?
I think. I think it always affects, especially the longer ones. Like anything above like 15 seconds, I think it's like it starts to affect you.
Okay.
You start to lose focus a bit. You don't really remember the items of your enemy heroes anymore. You don't really remember how the last fight went and what needs to adjust, what you need to adjust. Oh, bye.
This was a quick one. Perhaps Lion getting a bit too relaxed because of the pause.
Yep, Kappa. Like, it always happens. Like after a pause, right? I always have teammates. Just yesterday, I was playing in a scrim, with KYXY, playing with him now, and he said after a long pause, he's like, "Guys, where are the enemy heroes at? I don't remember anymore." And then I had to like draw on the minimap where the heroes were. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, so much of Dota, I think, for high-level pros is like it's a game of feel, where everything's flowing through. You know exactly where they are, and you know how long it takes for them to get from one side of the map to the other, and how long, like, to push the limits of your hero. And as soon as the pulse comes out, it's like, oh, wait, what's going on?
Yep.
Where are we at again?
Where are we at? What are their heroes, huh?
Yeah, what hero? Yeah, exactly. What hero's on their team? That's a big. If that's the problem you have, then that's one you maybe need to get checked out.
They're going.
Oh, blink in, they go in. It's the Earth Spirit again. Morphling goes waving in, blows up the poor Lion. Didn't get a chance to really get any of his spells off afterwards. The TB with the BKB looked to focus on Dust. Dust getting low, even with his own BKB. He's forced some more strength. Has the Manta style, has to wave away. Yeah, that's Scotty causing him problems with the Ice Blast. Is there the TB? He goes down before he can Sunder. Oh no. Earth Spirit rolls away. One more Viper attack will actually finish him off. As a Lycan, his BKB wearing off, still has the shapeshift and run away a bit further. Both teams just trying to disengage. It's Blood's Ember. Oh, he gets brought so low by the shotgun. Double damage room gets stolen by the Pangolier, and he wants two. It's going to be a nice two-man Earth Spike. Lion making the plays here. Can this Morphling get away? He gets the wave out. Still has the Spirit Vessel on him. Gets the Manta off. Pangolier connects with the Swashbuckle, but gets caught by a Blink Stun. Is the damage follow-up going to be there? They throw out the Adaptive Strike. He gets have the Shard. Goes for the roll-up play and will manage to get the DK. TZY goes down in a decent-ish fight for CDEC, but they do lose both their carry and their mid. So not the perfect fight they were perhaps hoping for.
Insta smoke.
Are they going Roche?
They got the gem. What is this
for,
for, guys?
Oh, Pango. See him, they've got the ward. They get him with the rolling boulder, and uh-oh. He's just going to go down. Now they perhaps just walk right into Roshan. No Metamorphosis, no Ember for 25, and it looks like they should be able to get Roche off of this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the... I think it was the Earth Spirit that got the clutch silence on the Terrorblade as the AA Blast flew over his head.
Yep.
And they just burst the TP down before he could get the Sunder off.
There was definitely a silence on somebody next to the TB. I didn't see TB when he died if he was silenced, but I'm guessing you're right about that one with the Earth Spirit. Mien has been pretty fantastic on this Earth Spirit. Definitely can see why they picked it to him in this Game 3 decider.
I mean, I feel like he definitely understands his job. He doesn't play too conservatively with the Earth Spirit. He goes in, he buys BKB. He's even holding the cheese right now. Not sure if he's supposed to hold that. Reminder, bro, you're a support player. Cap up. But
I'm probably going to, I would say the DK, but we'll see where it ends up. The Earth Spirit is got a lot of health, so if he's rolling in, taking damage, maybe not the worst option, but we'll see. Morphling, by the way, with the Ag Shard. Not maybe, I don't know. How good is this Morphling Ag Shard? I feel like it's one I don't often see. I just don't see much Morphling lately.
I'm not sure, honestly. Causes Adaptive Strike to have one multi-shot and increases the stun duration by 1 second. I mean, I guess it's just luxury. I mean, he's pretty much 6 slaughter right now, right? He has the Aegis, so even if he buys another item, it's not gonna... He can't really fit it in. So might as well just buy the shard first for the next fight.
I guess it's not. If it increases the minimum stun duration, then having that, you know, the strength adaptive strike stun, even when you're on Agi, you can get a good stun off, like 1.5 second, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. That could be really good against like hero like Pango, for example, right? Suddenly this water comes out from nowhere and stuns you, and you're like, what? I didn't see it.
Well, see. Things progress. MagMa looking to utilize this Aegis, get some more map control, maybe even go for a high ground play. They are pressing forward. Let's see what they can find here. DK's hit level 20. He's got Naganim Scepter, so it's not even just about the Morphling now as we head to the late game. You mentioned what the Lycan can do, but it's also, TZY, who's transitioned into a very scary late game core himself.
Yeah, for sure. Now is the time where you feel like MagMa has maybe 3 cores, but on CDEC you only have a TB. Your Ember is, Ember's sort of okay. The issue is the BKBs right now, so the Ember doesn't really do that much for the moment. And your Viper is kind of, it's reaching a point where the Viper is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, this Viper is struggling in some of these fights, staying alive, dishing out damage. The Aeon Disc is there, but we've seen a few times this Viper can just be one of the main targets that they want to go for.
Yeah, the BKBs are just a little too strong from MagMa right now. When they turn on their BKBs, no one on CDEC can really do anything. Only the TB can hit.
Oh, to the high ground we go. Morphling happy to sit in that Nether Toxin, just kind of shrugging it off as DK can maneuver around using that Aghanim Scepter. Flying over these cliffs.
He has a butterfly.
Yeah, wow. That's a lot of Agi to play around. There is going to be a Rolling Thunder initiation. Ember thinking about going on the backlines here. The wind up. They're stunning this Morph, but he's just Morphin strength. He's fine.
Yep.
Doesn't have any life to make turn this one around. Yeah, his team's just watching him. They're not even engaging. They're just letting him die. They're just sitting back. We'll see if it pays off. They need to go in perhaps for this second life. He's still on full strength here as the DK gets gone, and he's still going to BKB. DK going to pop it. AA on the backlines gets jumped by the Ember, so they're going to lose the AA, which means no Ice Blast, although it was still on cooldown. So good hold from CDEC. Not sure what the plan was there for MagMa.
CDEC as well. Like, I feel like all his teammates were like really hesitant to go on the morph, and then YDS is like, guys, I'm chain stunning, guys. Only on the fourth stun, then that CDEC like started to pour in all the damage on the Morphling.
Well, Dusk goes down. I'm not sure. They don't really have the best save. I mean, I guess later on maybe Earthspirit can build into something. He's got the level 25 talent, but also the potential Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, the AA had a force stuff, but maybe he used it and it got knocked by the Pangolier. Not sure. But yeah.
And we also saw if he gets too close, he gets jumped by the Ember.
Yeah, very good target selection by the Ember there. He forced the AA blast to be whiffed. The AA still tried to blast the TV, but he blasted like a bunch of illusions.
Bit of a odd fight nonetheless. As we head more and more into this late game, which is where the crazy late game talents start coming in. Flaming has his 25. We saw Lycan hit that level 20 talent that you were mentioning with the Feral Impulse damage. Even heroes like Earthspirits hit level 20, so getting that extra silence from the Geomagnetic Grip.
The DK still has a Quelling Blade. Why? Why? Why do you have a Quelling Blade, bro? That's no profit. So weird.
Yeah, I guess he's just had nothing to replace it with. I mean, I guess you could easily get a smaller item, but yeah, you're definitely right about that one. As we see a Flicker now, Morphling. Gonna have some extra Dispel to play around against. Well, we've seen the Spirit Vessel a few times in Searing Chains. This Flicker feels like it could be very good for him if he's not getting stun locked.
Yep. I mean, the movement speed is gonna be nice as well because I imagine he's gonna replace the Power Thread soon with the Daedalus. Oh, when he gets his Daedalus, the Daedalus Butterfly BKB EB Morph. Holy shit! This guy is gonna.
He's out of there, but they're still nearby. Doesn't look like they're gonna be able to catch up to him.
I think Dust is just gonna kill once he finishes this Daedalus. I think he's just gonna kill this TB in like 5 or 6 seconds with the AA blast.
See if he commits to it or if he wants to maybe hold on to his buyback. He may be a little bit worried about how things are going.
But once as well on the TB, he also has a dataless. So
Look up. They want to jump. They
Oh.
no, the ping goes up here apparently. They're going to get the jump on him. He has got the Andis with the roll up. Jumps down to the low ground. He's looking to Rolling Thunder his way out of this one. The DK trying to slow him down and keep up, but not really doing a whole lot. DK slow, not working through the Rolling Thunder.
it's a circus, man. Up there. I think the best way for CDEC to take the fight right now is I actually think they should initiate on this Morphling and force the Morphling to strength morph so that the Morphling doesn't have the ability to do mass amount of damage, right? The worst case for CDEC is if MagMa initiate and this Morphling on maxed out Agi uses BKB and starts hitting you. That's where you really start to get shit on by the Morph in the fight. I think you need to initiate on the Morph and force him to strength and make him reset, make him leave the fight, and then you deal with everyone else slowly.
And they kind of did that last time. There wasn't much of a fight. Morphling was just alone and kind of died. But even if, let's say, MagMa went in and fought, they were never going to turn around and get kills with Morphling on full strength. So,
yep,
definitely
he
see that.
respawned on with the Aegis on full strength and MagMa just like got out.
Yep. One thing I'm a little.
Lion.
Here we go. Yep, Morphling gets the BKB off to start the fight, and this poor Viper in trouble. But he has got the A on this. Turns around with the Viper strike, but that's not going to do much of anything. The E-Blade going to keep him alive a little bit longer, but the chase is on. Oh no, they've lost the support Lion now as well. They're not done. They want this Pengu, who has got a Blink Dagger. Get back to the high ground with a Swashbuckle. Looks like a successful fight from MagMa, who are hoping for a quick Roche respawn, but unfortunately for them, it will not be up. But instead, they can just go for the high ground play. Perhaps better outcome for them if they can get a lane of Brax here.
No
And
BKB
no
on
buyback.
Dust though.
Dyer's middle
Yeah.
barracks.
So be a little bit careful. Has got the Viper form as well as the Flicker Manta. So no BKB, but with the two defensive tools.
Dyer's middle
Perhaps
barracks.
thinking that's going to be enough for them. They get one lane and they're looking for more. Feeling confident. Can they make a play on this one? Ember goes on the back lines, gets a two-man Searing Chains. Earth Spirit getting low, but has the cheese. He's kind of baiting this one.
Tower is under
DK zoning them away while Dust just works on the buildings here. The DK just trying to create space for Dust. Once goes in with a BKB, they want this DK. He is tanky, but can he get back to the low ground? It looks like he is barely... no, he can't get out of there. He goes down, and the Pangolier dealing with the backlines, just chain stunning everybody up. The AA gets popped out of the invis. Is going to be probably going down, but brings one with him. Takes out CDC's blood. The Ember going down to the Ice Plus. That's trouble now as the Rolling Boulder going to catch the Pangolier as well. And Morphling back on the high ground, back on the racks. Looking to get that second lane, but they're going to be forced back by the buybacks. And Pangolier, whoa, he just pulled back. Pango, question mark? He just melted. Dust now maybe in some trouble himself. He's warping strength. Yeah, with the Hex up, the Earthspike's not going to come. The Earth Spirit's there to bail him out, but unfortunately he didn't have any stuns left. And Morphling, he flickers, he waveforms, he waveforms again, he TPs! Oh! The flicker into double waveform.
Come on, man.
Haste.
Flicker, what an item. It's, you know, it's probably the most tweeted about neutral item in the game. And there it is again.
That pains me, man. Watching that pains.
Oh, that's yeah. These damn carries getting everything they want. These crazy late game items. Can't kill them. Well, what a play from Dust to keep himself alive. He's still yet to die since the laning stage where that Lion made that one move on him. He is 12-1-10. Absolute monster game from him, and he's about to get himself an Aegis, it looks like. There's an Aghanim Scepter as well. Not sure.
I'm sure you just give it to. I'm sure the Morph will just say, guys, give me. Maybe they give it to the Lycan and bite him.
That seems kind of throwy though. Do you want to bite a Morphling?
He's biting him. He's biting him. Is he?
Okay.
He is, I think. Use it. Oh, he gave it to the Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
How boring, man.
The bite makes you melee, right? So I don't know if that's what the
middle
Morphling
tower
wants.
is under attack.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That seems kind of bad.
That does seem kind of bad. It sounds exciting. It sounds exciting though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm down for it, but I feel like it's one of those things where some of the time I see it and it's like, wait a second, this doesn't seem too good.
It's like that meme. The right time to stop talking about this is right about now. The right time to stop using it is right about now. It's not good. But yeah, now they have the save on the Earth Spirit. The Earth Spirit has a BKB and an Aeon Disc as well. So this Earth Spirit has... he's going to have a pretty free fight. He's going to be able to kind of choose to do whatever he wants. He also has the shard on the Earth Spirit. He has 8 stones. Very cool.
Yeah, that's what I was before a fight broke. I was going to ask you. It felt like he got this shard kind of late because it's one of those shards I feel like is so good with the vision as well. But he's got it now, and this is a very high impact item combined with the Aghanim Scepter as well. He is in true late game mode. About to hit level 25 as well. This is, you know, support players' dreams.
Yep, all he needs now is an Octarine Core to get the stones back faster.
Yeah.
And he'll be on like 4,000 HP or something.
Okay.
Very
calm. That's maybe a bit of a ways to go. But he's had that. Oh, I guess he doesn't have the Philosopher's Stone anymore. You know, he's upgraded. You know, we're past those days, but... See, tier 4 neutral items, Ninja Gear on the AA to try to keep him alive. We're seeing these casual Shadow Amulets more and more on these supports because when, like, you know, Ember Spirit jumps the backline AA, he can just go invis, and unless Ember has Dust, there's no way you can actually maybe get that kill.
Yep, the Ember doesn't have Dust, the Morphling has the Dust. Careful.
For a second there, I clicked Morphling, I was like, what are you talking about? Morphling's carrying Dust?
By the way, the Morphling has a talent attribute shift while stun. I did not know this, honestly. I've never seen this before. I did not know this talent exists. What the heck? He didn't take it.
Neither did I, actually. That must have replaced something more recently, because I didn't know that. That's like the old school Morphling. The unkillable Morphling from like 3-4 years ago that everyone complained about.
It doesn't work against Hex, right? So only like Abyssals and stuff, so I think that's why he didn't take it.
Playing wave on it. Will break the Aeon Disc.
Oh, he got knocked! Oh, the double knock!
He gets forced off, he gets impaled. He's going down, but that's just his first life. Meanwhile, the Ember on the backline's trying to get the AA, but the AA just playing around the Imp as the remnants are there. It looks like he should be out of... No, he doesn't finish off the AA. And the Morphling on his second life is doing what he can to get these kills. The Ember goes down. And AA using the Aeon Disc plus Shadow Amulet to stay alive. Oh. Invis is invulnerability, as it turns out. Ember committed everything for a support that he couldn't actually kill in the end. Morph going to go waving in and take out the Viper. This poor Viper having a rough time. TB looking for a Sunder, needs the silence to wear off. He Sunders the Earth Spirit here, but he's taking so much right-click damage, and it's just GG. Dust has carried this game with his Morphling. MagMa have done upon them.
The Ember didn't even use BKB and the pressure for the last fight, right?
I don't think so. It definitely... He just...
maybe... I think he just got caught by the DK?
Yeah, he was trying... He went on the AA, then he tried to Remnant out, and I think he Remnanted into the... Yeah, I guess, like you say, the DK or... Something caught him. Oh boy. Well, that does it. MagMa are the ones who are going to be going through to the next round of the lower bracket. They've still got a long journey ahead of them, and unfortunately for CDEC, perhaps expected, will not be going to the international. They are eliminated, the first team from the China region to be eliminated from TI-10 contention. We're going to go a quick break as we look to break down this series and also get ourselves ready for our next best of 3. We'll see you there.
Pretending that I don't know who you are every time I see you. Tell me, is this...
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TI-10 closed qualifiers for China. Unfortunately,